mass hysteria and also people's emotions to calm down a bit before I put my 2 cents in on this issue. And as I have put it on the screen right there, mandamanos are not going to work. If the goal is liberation and positive change in our communities, in our society, in our country, then mandamanos are not going to work. At least not in the way that we hope they will work. Because let's go back to what happened last year. The first week, everything was nice and easy. Everyone was excited about it. It went on. By the time it got to the final one, there was a lot of economic stress. There was a lot of socio-political fatigue among the people. And at that point, even the politicians had realized that it was not going to push the president out of State House. And so they started capitalizing on it. And it's the same thing that is happening right now. Kalonzo Musyoka has rebranded his party. Former Chief Justice Maraga is on the campaign trail. Former CS Matiang'i is on the campaign trail. Former Deputy President Martha Karua is back on this campaign trail. And all of them are trying to brand themselves as the liberators of the Gen Zs, as the liberators of the youth, as the liberators of this country. Now, if you go back through Kenyan political history, you realize that people like Kalonzo Musyoka, Martha Karua, and a few others have always been there on the scene. And their role has mostly been for agitation. And when it gets to the point where they have to rule, they have to govern, they have to administrate, they do not have staying power. That is one of the reasons I don't think it's going to work. Because ultimately we'll end up recycling the same people. Like, we are dumping this group and picking up the people who are second runners up to come and take over from them. So really we'll be trading in. In a way, if you think about it, you're firing your best CEO so that the chief operations officer can take over. There are people who have a proven track record of not performing to our expectations. That's number one. Number two is that as we are demonstrating as young people, there's no structure. Like, we are a very amorphous group. You cannot point out where the leadership is. You cannot point out where the real true goal is. You cannot point out what our plans for the future are. What you're really interacting with and feeling within the noise and the hysteria are people who are agitated, are people who are stressed, are people who are feeling like they know within themselves that something needs to change. They just cannot point a finger on it yet. Please just stay with me. Najua mshaanza kutype. Stay with me. Now, politics, it needs three things. You need a power structure, you need money, and you need influence. And influence is people. We already have influence because we have numbers. We do not have money per se, and we do not have structures. Now, unfortunately, these are the two most important things in politics, because with power, a power structure and money, you can buy people. Okay? Because if you're organized, people like organization, people like feeling like they have leadership. So automatically when you have structures of power, people will be drawn to it. When you have money, people are automatically drawn to it. And then when you have money and people, you can come up with a structure. Now, this is a danger in this structure that we have. This whole Gen Z movement is that we have influence. So since we do not have money or a structure of power, there's opportunity here for people to infiltrate the movement. And we've already seen it as we are going through the people who have dubbed themselves the political activists. They have started fighting among themselves. It's because someone on this side is saying the state funded the Sirini numbers hashtag. Someone else here is saying that it's Brits who are trying to interfere with our political system. Someone here. And the truth is, everyone will try to come in with structure, power structures, and money. NGOs will start giving money for us to stay on the streets. Because at the end of the day, if you go on the streets for 5 days continuously, you will not be able to afford food for most people, because most people are living from day to day. Most of the people who are on the streets are day-to-day earners. Shops will have to be closed, and so on and so forth. So at some point, economic stress will be too much to bear, and everyone will be saying we need to stop so that we can restructure and come back again. And anytime you're pushing, if you release, then the next time you're trying to push, you'll have to push harder. So automatically, other states will come in under the guise of NGOs to give money so that you can continue agitating, continue destabilizing our country, our economy, our political structures, and everything else. So that in a way, anytime there's instability, there's opportunity for people with money and experience to come in and create some sort of stability, and in that process, make more money and gain more political influence and power. In terms of political structures, we go back to my point number one. Since we do not have structures of leadership in this movement, people like Martha Karua, C.S. Matiang'i, and all those have opportunity to come in and say that I am offering myself, I am sacrificing myself, I am giving myself as the sacrificial lamb so that you people can get the liberty and the freedom and whatever else you purporting to fight for. And that is what is already happening. The two things that I have mentioned are already happening. Now, the other caveat of why I don't think maandamano is not going to work, and this is my final point, is the Constitution, plain and simple. Our Constitution, it gives the people who are in Parliament almost like ultimate autonomic power to represent us, whether we like it or not. As long as we voted them in there, they can represent us in whichever way they want. So as you have seen, Esther Parasaris has already tabled a bill to limit how much you can achieve through maandamano. Of course, the president is not going to relent. The disciplined forces already feel triggered, they already feel violated. So every time you get on the streets, whether or not you're going to complain, it's on sight. All of them are looking for opportunity to violate you because you have already shown that you're willing and ready to violate them. If you're willing to injure police officers, if you're ready to murder police officers, they are already feeling on the defensive. So it's a situation where there's a group on this side that is fighting against a group on this side who ideally should be working together. So it's all the youth on this side and the government and all the powers that be on the other side. The people on that other side, whether you like it or not, they have influence. Because the youth are forgetting that our parents and those other generations, even some of the youth, they're not saying it, but they're supporting the government. And it's for one simple reason. You're disrupting their economic increase, you're disrupting peace, you're disrupting certainty. And those are the things that we depend on to earn for our families, to keep our children safe and such and such. They have power structures. They have the Constitution, they have all the bills, they have all the state offices, they have everything. And they have money. They have our money. Our money. The Attorney General signs for our money. She is our chief accountant. So, this is what we need to do. If all of us can just look beyond the emotions and see, look beyond the deaths, look beyond the murders, look beyond the injuries, look beyond the rapes, and just see, like, of course those things have happened. It's painful, we are sobbing, we are wailing, but at the end of the day, we need to come up with something that will actually work. Let's keep this conversation going. I have some ideas, so depending on how many of you might want to lynch me, I'll be back so that you can continue this discussion. I'm not pretending to have all the answers. I just have enough experience in politics to know that maandamano is not the solution. Unless you want to end up as like Libya, unless you want to end up like Sudan. And that will mean militias. Okay? And we don't have militias as far as I can tell. So see you tomorrow.